On. 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 Hashtag. And the pressure bent it, pressure bent it. Whoa. How, Sway? Y'all can't hear the music?
Oh, nah.
You can't hear them? What the bumble
Nah,
clock? Are you serious?
Yeah, you jamming on your own.
Ah. All right, so we ain't gonna scrap the music for the intro. All right, we're gonna live with that. Look, before we even begin, announcements. On Monday, which is on Labor Day, September the 6th, my friends, we are going to be doing a pop-up in Houston, Texas, Houston, Land, Vegas. Shout out to all of the Houston family, Tyler, brother Talik, Soul Vegan. We will have special guest Pop Darby alongside my good brother Slice and Jay Crypto. Shout out to the biggest crypto play ever. We are broadcasting live in the metaverse once again. All right, shout out to the metaverse. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Chicago Crypto. You know what I mean? Yeah, them coins going crazy right now. You know what I'm talking about? So without any further ado, I bring to you Brother Red and Brother Blue, all right, in the building. What's popping?
Peace to the God, peace to you and yours, peace to the family. All right.
What you say?
I said peace to you and yours, peace to the family. What's good with
Oh,
you, bro?
hold on. That's what it was. My bad. I get the gas face. Ah. One of the plugs wasn't plugged in. We got to bring this back. I'm doing a lot right now. I'm telling you. Y'all have no idea. I'm doing a lot.
All right. What happened?
That's you.
All right. Let's play some music. Let's go. He's on that range stove. You gotta do this proper like. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, killer. Red. Yeah, Scorpion. Red Summers. To this day, the president to this day still acting unpresidential. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire, and the pressure bent it. The times that we living in unprecedented. We went from doing a Dougie, fresh invented. Now the rhymes, they all pessimistic. They had it tagging for that girl magic. Just finesse the mystics. They impressed with quick chicks. Only savages with less sadistic. They being less specific. No metaphysics. So many butter biscuit. They need extra biscuit. We had to bless the district. First to death, we was dressing drip. They worship lesser gods with the lesser mystics. Cocksuckers. Or they breath is fish sticks. They King Takashi. Yeah, they won't protect the witness. They King Takashi. Yeah, they won't protect the witness. The witness. Hannibal Barker shit, darker shit. In the heart of it, yeah, starting shit. That Marty Martyr with Sean Carter starter kid. Brooklyn. Big Sparta shit, 300. The crimes of the passionate ones who fell in love for blasting their guns. My chain froze, same goes for Wayne Grove. The range road on strange roads. Dr. Strange mode, strange toes. Hack the brain, rearrange codes. 360 spinning clearly like a plane roll. 365 winning really like a game host. 444 degrees on a range stove. On the coast of the mango. These niggas wanna know how power is obtained. If you ask the shower posse, they'll tell you that it's hours of the rain. Till none of these cowards they remain. Flowers is arranged, carriages remain. Drawn by 400 horses, there was power in the range. 19 blocks cutters overpowering them planes. They left all them towers up in flames. I never look at 24 hours just the same. Bitch, I'm Jack Power, just with black power. You a mixture of that crack powder and Mr. Matt Lauer. Hashtag Mr. Me Too. You met Red Pillar, I suggest that you niggas meet Blue.
Wait. In the land of the brave, in a home of the giants, she was COVID compliant, she was COVID defiant. That was potent, reliant, we exposed in these tyrants. Composed to the science, we not posed in no trying. Controlling the climates, yeah, we mold these environments. Scientists with client lists, Midas touch with iron fist. Holding arms, only way to catch these gems. Texas with an open palm, equestrians on open farm. Potent on that potent wand, rolling farms, coat of arms, Olympian. Kicking doors, waving 44s. They wouldn't let me in. Shit, we talking like a thespian, walking like pedestrians. It's my requiem, take you out front and center like ESPN. In the middle of the action, spitting with a passion. You get riddled if you pass it. Shit, no dribble, we just passing off the scribble, we just cashing. Expand the vote, play above the rim. Earl goat, man a go. I turn from man a hole, can a hole. Let them hammers go. Split your cantaloupe, not even Amber Rope to stop me from slut shaming all these bitch niggas. Yeah, your man's a holder, only antidote to split his cantaloupe.
Split his cantaloupe.
Serengeti's, get ready, shit, no introductions necessary. We legendary, and the story still unfolds. Yeah, they taking off like secretaries. Yeah, the heart is like a message heavy. About that life, but what we represent. Physics in the forest, scientific witness, Morris. All the shit I spit a story. Every day is February. Shit, you like it, I adore it. Shit, I write it, then record it. Recite it, and perform it. Excitement, I'm all for it. Like
a walrus. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that right there, my friends. That is off the Red Summer album. Yeah, to this day. That's off the Red Summer album. All right. Shout out to everybody that had their hands in that monumental project. You know what I mean? I appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, we had to start this shit out the right way. Yeah, I be hearing
warm-up music. Yeah.
I be hearing these YouTube niggas with their intro music. No offense, but yeah, y'all gotta try harder than that, bro. You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck? What are we doing?
Yeah,
fuck that.
Nah.
It's trash. Niggas is trash. Niggas is trash. Real talk.
It's some shit that be playing in my mind though. It's some shit out there that I like.
I like black. Shout out to Urban X. They got some fire music.
I was definitely making a reference. I couldn't leave
fire.
Him out the equation. So
you know I'm not talking about Urban X.
Yeah, that song is repetitive.
Yeah.
I think you mainly talking about YouTube niggas just trying to rap their intros.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What's going on out here? You know what I'm talking about? They asking me, do we see Sukahana's video? Nah, fam, we don't. What you doing? What's popping?
I don't listen to
Sukahana. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know who that is, fam. What are we doing? Like, let's not do that. How is my camera coming out? Somebody say, "Oh, blurry." Yeah, my shit look crispy while I'm sitting there.
Next to my shit, yeah.
How can we fix that? Because, you know, I'll shut this whole show down if my shit stay blurry. Like, we can't, you know what I mean? This is going around the world.
Yeah, my shit is.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do. Let's do this.
Just want to caption yourself.
Lil Nas is having a baby. Is anybody in the chat responsible for that? Let's do the roll call.
To this day. To this
do
day.
the roll call. Okay, it cleared up. It cleared up. It understood the assignment. The camera understood the assignment. Let's go.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
algae rhythms responded.
Yeah, Algae Rhythm was like, "Oh, it's the gods. Let's clean this up." West Phoenix in the building. Shout out to West Phoenix. All right. I had to wave my wand and shit started clearing up. H-Town in the building. Atlanta in the building. I don't have to worry about the audio. I know my shit is crispy. I should be this should be a podcast. You know what I'm talking about? If the camera's blurry, I'm turning it off. We just turn this to a podcast. Cleveland in the building. Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Santa Rosa. All right. I see West Los Angeles, Savannah, Dallas, Yonkers going bonkers. West Los Angeles. All right. Yonkers in the building. Where's that right there? I never heard of that. West Philly, Cincinnati, Louisville. Okay. Dallas, Texas was popping. What it do? Detroit, Tennessee, Seminole, Florida. All right. Bahamas. Send us a ticket. Yeah, send us a ticket, please. West Virginia, DMV. You ever heard of Sioux Cog? You ever heard of that, Blue? You been there before? Seattle in the building, Cali in the building. All right. Edgewood is in the building. Whoa, peace. Harlem is in the building. Shout out to Harlem. That's right. Land of Jean Baptiste. All right. That's what I'm talking about. DC, San Diego, Chattanooga up in this thing. Los Angeles, Fort Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Bakersville, Chino Hills, Duval. Is that little Duval? Frisco, Chesapeake. NOLA, Arcadia, Douglas, yeah, Toronto, yeah, ATL, KTL, and ATL, Myrtle Beach. I think that's my little dude, Nardo. He's watching us. Douglasville, Texas A&M. My dude tapping in from flooded Webster Ave. Was you the nigga on the float with the hookah? Is that you? Is that you in the building with the hookah? You a legend. I'm talking about a legend. Baltimore, Orlando, super legend. I wanna hear from the rat that was doing backstrokes too. Call in. You know what I'm saying? Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Washington Heights, Hartford. You know what I mean? Somebody's watching from the metaverse. That's what I'm talking about. Tap in for the metaverse. All of the family in the metaverse. We see you. All right. Y'all living in the future. Philly, 215. Florida. Okay. Let's call it a wrap because it's like 400 and plus. We can't do roll calls on everybody. We just know the family is here. The family is in the building, and we welcome y'all. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursday. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pill. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Blue Pill. Another half for the Twin Pillars. Yes, indeed.
Peace, love, and light.
Peace, love, and light to the family. Pardon any tardiness, but we are here. Don't worry, we're gonna get y'all out of here so y'all could go listen to Lover Boy, certified Lover Boy. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get you to the Drake listening party. Don't worry about that. Let's just warm you up. We have some things to talk about tonight. As you can see, the title is entitled When in Rome. The saga continues. The story just, the shit keeps growing legs. You know what I mean? So while we are knocking on the door of 9/11, I felt it is only right to put together something monumental. So me and this young man sitting next to me could cook up something and deliver, some information that the family will definitely walk away with and, be able to download and take with you. All right. So Blue, talk to the people.
Well, I mean, you said the saga continues. So where did you leave off at? Where am I continuing from? It was the last plane out of Cabo. That's where you left them at?
That part. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, for some months now, well, since last year, I've been reminding people that we'll be dealing with the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. 9/11 is very instrumental in my narrative, my story, my transformation, and yours as well.
Facts.
From the ashes of the Twin Towers arose the Twin Pillars.
That's right.
We are intricately tied to this story, to this narrative, especially coming out of New York. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been speaking about this 20-year window and what it means. You feel me? I'm also here to remind people about the psychotraumatic spell that they have put society under for these 20 years, terraforming terra firma through the terror campaign, right? And the fact that all of us globally, collectively experience one of the illest psychotraumatic bonding experiences ever witnessed by man, which was, you know, the live broadcast of the dropping of the towers. Some people just caught the first one, the second one. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
we all witnessed it together, like how the majority of the world seen Floyd George and had to live through that, or all of the other snuff films. You know,
Right.
the biggest horror film that the world ever simultaneously bore witness to was 9/11. And what it did is it cracked the collective consciousness. If you look at the collective consciousness as an egg, you know what I'm saying? That egg was cracked.
Right.
You feel me? By a psychotraumatic event. And when something oozes out of that egg, something is allowed to be put into that egg, right? And what was put into that egg was FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Doubt.
Right? Because the
right.
way that the chakra system is set up, let's look at the human chakra system, right? At the root chakra, that is what ties you into family, security, and safety, right? And God and country are synonymous in that
Yes, it
particular
is.
paradigm, right? As evidence, before we were a city slickers, we were an agrarian people, right? So we depended on farming, agriculture, and things of that nature when we lived in the South. So man had to have a very close relationship to his deity, because when you put that seed in the ground, you have to have enough faith that everything is going to happen the right way for that seed to, you know, flourish and manifest itself as a plant, as a fruit, as a whatever. So
Right.
this is when we got real religious, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be praying and shit like that. And, you know, farming was something that melanated men in particular were responsible for. That's not, you know, the woman was in a crib raising a family. Your ass got in the field, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
you planted
Till
and
the soil.
you tilled the soil, you did it all. And you had to have a direct relationship with your creator so your harvest could be blessed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Not until we abandoned our posts and moved into the city, and we what, as you speak about, we stopped becoming producers, right? Because a man
Yeah.
who's responsible for his produce and his production, right, his lady will give you, you feel me?
She will reproduce for you.
She
She
will
will produce.
reproduce for a
Right.
producer.
Right.
Right? But when we became city slickers and more so blue collar and started, you know, depending on the assembly line, then another man is responsible for your check. Another man is responsible for putting food on your table. That's when the dynamics in our family started changing. You feel me?
That's
Leading
right.
up to the tragedy that people continuously mimic and parrot about. Oh, the man was kicked out the crib, and yeah, that shit wouldn't happen in the country on a farm. Only that can happen in the city when you
That's
are now
yeah.
dependent on government handouts. You're depending
Welfare.
on Big Brother as your big daddy. You feel
Right.
me?
And
And
can you also
shout out to whoever's writing The Godfather of Harlem, right?
No, that's Moses.
Oh, Moses is writing on that too. That was
Yeah. His name is in the credits at the end. He has
okay.
a pivotal role in that.
Shout out
Moses
to
from Money and Violence. If anybody knows
I can see it now. I can see it now. Rafe
yeah.
is what they called him on the
Yeah, he
show,
was
Money
the
and
head.
Violence.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
star of
my
Money
guy
and
Rafe.
Violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Moses. So
Yeah.
Moses is writing
His
the shit
pen is
out of
going
that.
crazy. Yeah, he's writing the shit out of
Yeah,
that series.
and he's interjecting a lot of key facets that are overlooked. Coincidingly, I'm listening to him. I'm listening to a lot of Dr. Claude Anderson, right? Going
Happy
back
birthday,
to
right?
yeah,
His
happy
born day?
belated. giving people. It just passed yesterday. He's
Okay.
giving you backdrop. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you backdrop. He's giving
Right.
you a lot of information, you know what I'm saying, that's pertaining to how these laws or these bills or these acts actually got passed, right? And where the you know, where the BS, where they put the cut, you know what I'm saying? Where they put
Right.
the
Right.
cut and the doozy.
And the
You
doogie.
feel me?
When they cut the doogie. Can you
Now, yeah, salute to
timestamp?
Moors. We know the acts are not laws, right?
Right.
We know the acts are not laws. We know that those amendments are not what they profess to be. But
And we also
nonetheless,
got to put some respect on Professor James Small's name. He is a
yes,
contributor to The Godfather of Harlem, and he also, I believe, he's behind the documentary that they have that coincides with The Godfather of Harlem. Did you see that
no,
on Amazon about Harlem?
no.
Woo! Oh my, that shit right there. It's about a 4 or 5 part series, bro. It's The Godfather of Harlem without. It's the
Without the cut,
documentary that
right?
gives you the back without
Without the
the cut on the doogie.
sensationalism, you
Right.
know, and everything. Because now they got Bumpy. Bumpy got the shotgun next to Malcolm's rifle. I'm like, come on.
Bumpy in
Come
the
on,
window
dude.
with Malcolm
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
Bumpy in the
they put
window with
Bumpy in the
Malcolm.
window with
Like,
Malcolm.
you
Yeah.
can't rewrite history like that for entertainment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But not, you know, you're directly implicating members of the nation, you know, for having attempts on his life and everything.
Oh, they went there.
Yeah, like, come on, they're reaching at this point, so they have to emphasize that this is entertainment. But nonetheless,
Yes.
right? I'm all of this is taking place at the same time that I'm looking and I'm listening, you know. And I spoke about Godfather Harlem in particular because he was speaking about the Great Society. You know what I'm saying, and what it was going to take for LBG or LBJ for that matter.
LBJ, my friend.
Yeah.
That comes later. That comes
That comes
later.
later, right? On the
LBJ,
tail end
yeah,
pause
on the tail end is LBG.
of this particular legislation. So they was putting a lot of good things into perspective. You feel me? And that's very key for us to get the idea of the buildup, you know what I mean, of where this thing actually came from and led up to. 1945, post 1945, we know that we have been dealing with a technosphere, right? A military industrial complex post 1945, right? When they ended
Right.
World War II, when they dropped the bomb in August of 1945, Fat Boy and Little Man, right?
Right.
So everything has changed at that point. It was militarized, it was mechanized. You know what I'm saying? This is when there was a very blatant, not subtle, but very overt attack on nature. You know what I'm saying? This is when they split the timelines. This is when they started, you know, dealing with a lot of stuff that we are seeing the remnants and the repercussions of to this day.
Wait.
To this day,
Right?
to this day.
There you go.
Right? So yeah, shout out to Roz Ben. We got to redefine a lot of terms. They call it the Mandela effect when it's really the Philadelphia experiment effect. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
They have
Yes.
been traversing timelines since 1943.
Facts.
They did it again in 1983 with the Manhattan experiment up in Montauk. You know what I'm saying? And
Long
then the
Island.
founder of D-Wave is talking about doing it again in 2023. Okay? So
Greasy. Talking greasy like that.
yeah, so we see, and that's a good segue because now we're talking about collapsing timelines, right?
Right.
There's ways to do it artificially, and there's ways that it's done naturally. If we look at 2021, it has, you know, merged itself with several timelines. Of course, because it's the 20th anniversary, 2021 evokes 2001. How can we be sure of that? What's the evidence? God damn it! Look at Afghanistan. Look at all of the echoes of this 20-year window. Right? The
Right.
ending of a 20-year war, the longest war that this country has been in. And that is a lie as well, because the war on drugs is longer than the war on terror.
It is.
Okay? It's 40 plus years. So they lying again through their
Facts.
teeth A war is a war, right? On paper and policy, no matter what you call it, a war is a war. The war on terror is the same, because that shit is not official. It's a stateless campaign, right? They don't
They
have
call it the forever war, though.
It's not. Yeah, it's forever war. They don't have state-sponsored enemies. They're not fighting
What is
other
known as a
countries.
perpetual, right? What is
It's
known
a
as a
perpetual
perpetual
war
war.
because they're fighting a faceless enemy. You feel
Right.
me? So the same way that you're going to say there's a war on terror, it's the same way that they said it's the war on drugs that has a ambiguous faceless enemy, right? It could be a melanated person, your child tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? And if they decide that they want to go white collar, it could be the Willies, you know what I'm saying, the next day.
Question: is the war on
Yeah.
poverty still ongoing, or did that
The
end?
war on poverty will always be ongoing. That's the oldest war. You know what I'm
Okay, and
saying?
that was
In this
Nixon.
country, the oldest war overall on the planet is the gender war,
Right.
right? As my grandfather will always explain, the oldest war ever fought on this planet is the war from man against woman, right? The gender war is the oldest war, period.
Right.
So coincidingly, you know, when we look at these things, we pay attention to signs and symbols, right? We care not what man has to say. You feel me? Because he talks out of his rectum. It's just talking bullshit,
Facts.
right? Regurgitated BS. So we don't listen to man, right? We're having a convo with the cosmos,
With the cosmos, y'all.
right? What did the cosmos say?
What they saying?
Okay. So last season, right, or last month, leading to this particular 20-year window of 9/11, we could see a cosmic narrative taking place, right? Coinciding with what we've been speaking about the corona rising, that there's this energy within melanated people that is rising up, coinciding with this energy in the cosmos that we see rising up or being amplified by way of the sun in particular, and in melanated people, black men in particular. With you, it's your solar plexus, which coincides with Leo and specifically speaks to courage, right? Cowardly lion versus the courageous lion. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? Now, the sun is your third chakra, right? That's your third chakra, your solar plexus. But the sign of Leo really is indicative of the heart, right?
Right.
Because the heart or the sign of Leo coincides with the element of gold, the body part, the heart, you know what I'm saying? And the motif, the king. So what is the cosmos saying in regards to that? The only way that you can be king, right, is if you rule from your heart. Because a king is the highest form of a servant, not the king who has the most servants.
Right.
The king who is the humblest of servants is the king of all kings.
That's right.
Hence the fact that they will show you in mythology, and let's put it there, right? When they showed you the picture of Jesus Christ or Caesar Borgia, he would have, right, the heart in his hand.
Right.
You feel me? He would have
That's
the
right.
heart in his hand.
Flaming, right? As on
A
fire.
flaming heart. Yes, a burning heart, right?
Right.
So it also, Leo is indicative of the ego. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Which can be definitely the death, not only of men, but of kings and especially of empires. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So America is embroiled in a war on terror, right? And they started by going into Afghanistan, which is the graveyard of empires. I believe that they passed the legislation September 18th to go up in there. You feel me? And to run down on, quote unquote, they said that the Taliban or Afghanistan as a country was harboring terrorist factions, in particular the Taliban, and the Taliban was frontlining or caping for Osama bin Laden, right?
Right. Right.
That was the narrative. You feel me?
Yes, it was.
So instead of them handing him over, they said that they were going to come in there with aggression and force and extract him.
They
for
gave him a
prosecution.
deadline.
Huh?
They gave him a deadline to hand him over. And when the Taliban, they didn't refuse. What they were saying was, we don't have him. And if anybody is familiar with the geopolitics of that area, no one, you had to factor in Pakistan, right? Where he was allegedly killed at. And Pakistan is the birthplace of the Taliban, and they basically were they were groomed. Remember, the Taliban are the orphans of the Russian quote unquote excursion or the Russian war against the Mujahideen. Right. So the children of the warriors that got their heads knocked off by the Russians fled to Pakistan, where they were radicalized with a form of Islam that is practiced in Saudi Arabia and whatnot. And they were basically coming to avenge their father's death. Henceforth, when they came back into Afghanistan, their symbolic ritual was the killing of the king. They hung the president and his brother. They dragged them out of hiding and they hung them right in the public for everyone to see. The president was a communist. So to avenge what the Russians did to their fathers and to their families and whatnot, they pulled his ass out, hung him right in the square. You know what I'm talking about, for everybody to see. And then they went ahead and they took over and they were doing what they were doing. And then America came in, ran them back into Pakistan, ran them back into the mountains. And now they're back out of the mountains doing what they do. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck.
So,
and it has a very mystical element to it as well.
Yeah, the mountains are mystical, right?
Yeah,
and we're not going to get into the geopolitical backdrop of the CIA and
allegedly
Tim
allegedly
Osman,
killed. Yeah, allegedly killed Tim
Osama
Osman.
bin Laden being an asset for them, and also the Taliban in many regards being an asset of them as well. I don't think we're going to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter. We talking about symbolism, right?
Facts.
So,
because hold on, I don't want to interrupt you, but I personally interviewed Supernova Slum, who fought in the Afghanistan war. Okay, I personally interviewed him, and I've also spoken to other soldiers who were telling me to my face that it was not a farce, that they were actually fighting against a real enemy. Right. So something was going on over there for 20 years. You know what I'm talking about? But go ahead.
Coincidingly, again, let's look at the backdrop and look at, because what people have complimented us on in my travels, they like, yo, we love your ability to pull a lot of different pieces together and make it cohesive. You feel me? That's what separates us from other people, is that we can pull things together. No matter what you throw at us, you feel me? We're going to find a way to formulate it and to channel it back into something cohesive. Shout out to our brother Rich. Right?
Shout out to Rich in the building.
So
21.
We're talking about the Godfather of Harlem, right? And the Doogie Connect and the Godfather of Harlem, it was coming out of France, right? It was the French connection.
Right, Marseille.
You feel me? They were getting it, yes. They were getting it from the Golden Triangle.
Turks.
Right? And some of them were getting it from Afghanistan. So
facts.
What we also want to take note of is that coincidingly during this 20-year campaign, right, dope in the form of opiates, right, in the form of prescription drugs, you dig what I'm saying, has become an epidemic in this country. There's an opioid epidemic. What does that mean? There was so much dope that was coming in, the availability factor increased to a degree where everybody had access to it. The prices dropped because there was a flood in the market. So now you was able to get the doozy, the good doozy. Let's say you had to pay $20 a pack. Now you was getting it for $5.
Right.
Right. And then it shifted to fentanyl at some point. Right. Then it shifted to fentanyl at some point. So
which is it's synthetic doogie, right?
it's synthetic
The
doogie.
Fetty.
And yeah, and China has a hand in that. You feel me?
Mm.
So you would have to understand that there was a major black market or black ops going on, right? Because what funds the military industrial complex? Now we have to get receipts and go back and take a look at this thing.
Rat line.
Right?
The rat line.
The bankers,
what they erroneously call the deep state.
Right. The bankers are funding the military, funding the pharmaceutical industry, and funding media, right? All of it goes hand in hand. And then the trickling down is the politicians that get paid off from these particular, mega monolithic interest groups.
Facts.
You feel me? So let's take somebody like the Rockefellers, who we did an amazing breakdown on one of Brother Rich's show to show you how all of this ties to the Rockefeller medicine men, goes all the way up to the top, right? Even fast forward it now, somebody's talking about, the war on drugs with Nixon and all of that. What about the Rockefeller drug laws, right?
Right.
All the way up into that, into Rockefeller Records.
Mm.
You feel me?
That's a fact.
If you look at the Rockefellers in particular, just look at them, right? They have controlling interest on the boards of the banking companies, a controlling interest on the boards, because Rockefeller and with Standard Oil, the byproduct of that was petroleum, right? This is how the drug industry, pharmaceutical industry started. You understand? So you got the bankers by way of Rockefeller, you got the drugs by way of Rockefeller, you got media by way of Rockefeller, and you got banking by way of Rockefeller. So we don't even got to get conspiratorial
and the schools
about the Illuminati or the 13 families. Let's just focus on that. Let's just focus on that one family and how that one family has a controlling interest in this company or this country, right? That is a very considerable one. When people be like, God damn, this shit must be coming from the top. I wonder where it's coming from. Right. I'm like, fam, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you don't know how to do the knowledge? You feel me?
Was Rockefeller behind the school systems as well? The board of education?
Of course.
Okay. We got to throw that in there as well.
But yeah, now that ties into, okay, you get a little bit deeper because now you got to take that just out of the realm of the control of the Rockefellers in particular, and you got to push it over to now saying this is where the Jesuits come in by way of Texas. They're the ones who approve all the textbooks and everything. So they're doing the bidding of the church or Rome, right? And within Rome, this goes and ties back into Rome and everything, right? Because you have these controlling interests. You have the financial sector, you got the military sector, you know what I'm saying? And then you got media, right? And again, it all ties in to the empire state. You feel me? So we see all of this stuff taking place, right? Again, the month or the season of August in particular, the Leo season, we saw a lot of revelation taking place, especially in our community. And I tell people in this community, don't think small about yourself, because this is a micro macro. What happens in the community on a micro level is affecting us globally on a macro level. This is just a slice, a concentration, right? Consciousness as a concentration, it would be the most active part of the cell. This is where the cell is the most active. This is the electron. This shit is like, right? It has the most electricity, activity, what have you. Okay?
Right.
So let's not, we like to discredit it because it's small and people think that it's, invisible or what. No, it's very visible. You know what I'm saying? It's very visible and it holds a lot of weight. You know what I mean? And it's a micro to the macro. So all over YouTube, you know what I'm saying? We seen a lot of public meltdowns. We saw a lot of people falling victim to ego, right? Not willing or not, don't want to own nothing, right? Passing the buck. Milwaukee Bucks got their championship, nigga. Everybody's passing the buck.
Pass it.
Right? The sons, the children of the sons are passing the buck. right? When 2020 is supposed to be all about responsibility, stepping into your role as the king. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a king, you got to fall on the sword to get born again, right? Or,
Sacrifice.
subject yourself to the killing of the king ritual. You know what I'm saying?
Get your
And that
head
shit
cut
is
off.
off with your head,
Right.
And what does that look like, Blue Pill? Man, that shit might look something like the R. Kelly trial taking place in Brooklyn right now.
They cooking, my guy.
Okay? That it might look something like that. It might look something like that. If you want to get an idea of what the killing of the king ritual looks like, it looks like the R. Kelly trial. You feel me? Or the Bill Cosby trial before that.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, where's the complicit? Where's the owning of your shit? Where's the alchemical process that only, death or blackness could? You got to resurrect yourself from your death, black man. You got to give new meaning to that shit because there's power in death. But everybody want to go to heaven. Nobody want to die.
Nobody want to die.
To this day.
Right? To this day.
To this day.
Niggas don't want to die. Right?
They dodging that.
So, again, the convos with the cosmos. The cosmos is like, yo, show me responsibility. Show me some king shit. Right? Show me this, show me that. So coincidingly in this community around the years of 08 and 09, when the Leo from Chicago, right, assumed the throne of presidency of this country, the 44th president, Barack Hussein Obama, it coincided in this community with the rising or the raising of two other Leos in the community who were considered the future, right? They were the brightest sons, Leo's sons,
right,
in the community. You know what I'm saying? But just
yes.
like Watch the Throne, two kings can't sit on one throne. So that within itself started a lot of friction. You feel me? Started a lot of friction. And it was consistent. We know the narrative. I'm not gonna go through blow by blow or point for point. You know what I'm saying? If you was there, you understand. And if that, I'm sure that you'll be able to catch a review somewhere, right?
Right.
Conscious year in review, I'm sure it's coming.
Oh, the conscious year in review, my niggas, like,
yeah,
woo, signing up for that.
20-year edition, yeah.
I want to stab at that.
I'm sure
one
they get
right there.
Uncle Murder getting his balls ready now, right?
Uncle Murder, you know what I'm talking about? We need an Uncle Murder in the community. You know what I'm talking about?
So, again, New York is still somewhere that is indicative of the pillars or the towers, the Twin Towers in particular. Like I said, moving into this 20-year window, this 20-year anniversary. And what does 20 coincide? The fact that last year we were locked into the throes of a 20-year observation, that being the conjunction, the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. That was a 20-year window, right? And this was the great one because it had implications of 800-year alignments, thousands of years of other things coinciding in the beginning of the Aquarian age. So this was a biggie. Last year was a biggie. So 2020 and 2021 are still what? They're still tethered. They're still twinning themselves. They're still one and the same. They're still twins. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So I see, right? I remember I just came from Mount Shasta in the beginning of August, right? And seeing some real ego correcting shit taking place, right? So I knew what was, there was a lot of symbolism. There was a lot of incidents that I seen. There was just a lot to signal to me that the universe was about to go through some ego cleansing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Right? Shout out to my brother Slice from the metaverse. Salute. Right?
Yeah. Shout out to the whole meta.
It just signaled to me that it was, the transformation was on the way. It reminded me of my visit in the hills of Mount Shasta in 2017. So this is a 4-year window, right? Shout out to King Simon.
Shout out to King Simon.
So the 4-year window coincided when I came out of the mountains after the total American eclipse of 2017, the minute that I get out of that, get out of those mountains, right? Hurricane Harvey happens in Houston, right? A
Right.
trillion gallons of rain dumped on the city in a few hours. So flooding of biblical proportions take place, right?
Yes, it is.
Solar eclipses of that magnitude, this was a total solar eclipse. Eclipses, period, are known to cast shadows that probably will last anywhere from 6 months to maybe 6 years, right? If you look at something like the Th3rd blood moons of 2014 going into 2015, that's setting up like a 30-year shadow. That's a powerful, especially if you're ritualizing during those blood moons with blood, right?
Yes.
Those are powerful castings or powerful spells to cast. Something like the total solar eclipse of 2017, though, that's some hellified energy. You feel me?
Yep.
And the hurricanes hit afterwards, as well as the forest fires, and the shits have not stopped burning since. Right? Last year was registered the #1 year on record for the most hurricanes. It was 30 of them. Right? 30 of them
Last
in
year?
2020. And niggas is not even talking about it. There was so much other shit going on. Yeah.
Damn.
30
Henceforth,
hurricanes happened last year.
look, I don't mean to cut your wizzy, but that's what this cover is indicative of.
Yeah, the red and the blue Kachina, right?
The fire and the floods
Purification by way of fire
and water.
and water, right?
Factory.
The
Go
blue
ahead,
and the
keep
red
cooking.
Kachina. Shout out to Farrakhan for the shout outs. Okay.
That's
so
right.
Here we are. Again, we are in the throes of this, right? This is not pseudo mumbo jumbo. This is saying, look at the signs and the symbols and how they are manifesting and working themselves out. So they're saying, even with the forest fires, this was the largest or the biggest one to date, right?
Yes.
Hurricane
yes,
season just started. Okay, it just started, and already you have a monstrosity like Ida. So let's fast forward. We get into the end of August. We get out of Leo, right? I don't have to tell y'all what happened in the Leo season. You seen it, right? Because it happened to Leos, right? Not just one,
Right.
right? You seen it across the board, right? You saw the reckoning. You seen the judgment. You seen what the right putting the king on the cross in Kabbalah or the tree of life in the 6 Sephiroths called Tipperoth. You put the king on the cross. You feel me?
Right.
Right? That's where the saviors end up on the cross. Right?
Yeah.
So
Crucified.
yeah. You come out of Cancer season, which is the mother. You go into Leo, which is the king, and then you go into Virgo, which is the woman. Right?
Right.
So only a mother can coronate a king, and a king is only the king for his queen. You understand? A king is only going to be as strong as his queen in that particular kingdom. And the king is only the highest servant in the kingdom, meaning that you have to have an open heart chakra in order to properly lead, right? In any leading capacity, if you are a leader, if you are a king, if you are a master, whatever, right? If your heart ain't open, nigga, you're lying to yourself. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So, boom, we fast forward to April 29th, the end of April. Yeah, they got okay. And then even look in New York, they took the brothers or the twins or the towers down out of leadership
Cuomo's.
in New York, the Cuomo's,
Right.
right? They got them out the way to put a woman in.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck
So
outta
a
here.
woman will be sitting in the seat come this 20th anniversary of 9/11. Right. So April 29th, the 16 years to the day that Katrina made landfall.
You said April?
Right? August 29th. Michael Jackson's born day. Right? The 29th is the critical degree in astrology.
Right.
29 also represents the element of copper. Right? The atomic number of copper is 29. You understand? copper coincides with Venus, right? In the day Friday, and the color green, which is the heart. The reason why Islam adopts the color green in everything that they do, because it is a religion based on the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Typified by what? The star and the crescent. The star represents Venus. Okay? And Venus represents the woman. Hence the fact what? Men are from Mars. Women are from where?
Venus.
Right?
Talk to me.
Kanye West releases the album dedicated to who?
Donda. Mama. His mother.
Feel me?
Yes, sir.
To his mama, to the woman. Virgo is the sign of nurturing, it's the sign of health. Only thing the cosmos want to know is, right, what do you conscious niggas have planned when it comes to these women and these babies? Because they already know what it's hitting for with you niggas. Right? So when you hear the words Ida, you think of two things. At least I do. I think of Ida B. Wells.
Ida
right?
B.
And well denotes water. But Ida B. Wells was famous for her anti-lynching stance. And she was speaking specifically about Mississippi and Louisiana, the two places where Ida hit.
To this day. To this day.
That's right.
You know, the ancestors are still crying out. You feel me?
There's a lot of
still crying out. Right?
Can I add on?
Wait, just give me a second.
All right.
So there's two things that I hear when I hear Ida. I hear Ida B. Wells, right?
Right.
But I also hear the Ida and the Pingala.
Pingala.
And for those who don't know what the Ida and the Pingala is, the Ida and the Pingala are the two serpents that coil up the spine, right? And make it to the ajna, which is the third eye, where you receive Christ consciousness in the dark cave that now gets illuminated by a 42-degree rainbow. So what also happens on August 29th is that it's the day after the 1-year anniversary of the transitioning, right, of the cosmic king, okay, Chadwick Boseman, who made transition in 2020 on August 28th during the anniversary or the day of dedication to Jackie Robinson, number 42, who broke the color line. The color line is represented as a rainbow, not the LGBT, which is the other side, the awkward,
backwards rainbow.
The backwards rainbow, but Roy G. Biv.
Or inverted.
Yeah, inverted, right? But
right.
Roy G. Biv, the color spectrum.
Facts. Where
visible light is available, right? Again, we're talking about good light versus poor light.
Oh, shit. What the hell?
To this day. To this day.
Y'all make sure y'all hit them likes. What are we doing? Hit those likes, y'all.
And
don't let me get likes. Hit them.
Yeah. Y'all get them likes up.
Get them likes up, man. What are we doing? To this day.
To this day. So last year, it was a symposium of the universe or the cosmos showing you, right, what shit looked like with the illusion, the glamour, because 2020 also coincided with 2012. 2012 was about Maya. Maya is an illusion.
The illusion,
right?
The matrix.
What does it look like when they take away the glamour of lights and cameras, right? And your face to see the shit for what it is, right? They gave you the cabal. They gave you adrenochrome. They gave you these niggas looking
take a few
crazy,
back,
right?
To go
without the lighting, without the makeup. You seen how these niggas look? If I like these niggas look ashy, they look dusty. They did not look like that's what $1 million can buy you, my nigga. In the grooming department, why you on camera looking like that?
Is that you?
Why you niggas look stranded?
Is that you? How you
Why
went
did
from
they look
ashy to
busted and
classy back
ashy
to
like
ashy?
that was the universe showing you that the only shit that you caught up in is the lights and the glamour. The illusion. Glamour.
Talk black to me.
Niggas had on ankle monitors and everything. So everything that you was shown, you what? You became cognitively dissident. Right? Let me see
Right,
if I
because
still got the meaning up for this shit.
let me just add
Go
on.
ahead.
Remember that none of the artists were getting shape ups, right? That nobody was basically getting powdered. Their faces weren't
They wasn't
powdered
getting
in
groomed.
2020. They weren't getting groomed. Ellen DeGeneres was looking degenerate. You know what I'm talking about? DJ Khaled, we the best. He was looking like we the less. You know what I'm talking about? You know, he was letting his shit grow in. Everybody was shot. They were doing lives looking crazy. So that's what Blue is saying, that when the lights, when the glamour, when the illusion was taken away, when they had to take their mask off, you know what I'm talking about? Mask on, mask off. When the mask came off, you got to see shit for what it really was. And then, like Blue was saying, the rumors of the adrenochrome, the rumors of them, you know what I mean, taking children's blood and whatnot, all of this shit started popping off. You know what I'm talking about? We were introduced to these new characters. You know, we got a slideshow too, Blue. This is hors d'oeuvres. This is a family. This is the fucking appetizer. Like we got a slideshow for y'all. Hit that like, hit the likes. Come on. Hit the likes. Let's stop playing. Hit them likes, share the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm talking about? Share the video, hit the likes, do what it do. You know what I mean? And we're gonna do what we do. But go ahead.
Right. Cognitive dissonance, right, is a medical term used to describe the mental discomfort that results from holding two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. You know what I'm saying? People tend to seek consistency in their attitudes and perceptions. So this conflict causes feelings of unease or discomfort. This inconsistency between what people believe and how they behave motivates people to engage in actions that will help minimize feelings of discomfort. People attempt to relieve this tension in different ways, such as by rejecting, explaining away, or avoiding new information. So not only did they show you niggas who they were, right? But now you want to go and get a jab so you can be around these niggas to allow them to entertain you.
The fuck? If that's not cognitive dissonance.
And the Pied Piper is on trial. Right?
To this day.
And the Pied Piper is on trial. What to this day niggas still marching to
this day.
Oh my goodness. This
right?
nigga said the Pied Piper is on trial.
All the motifs is at play right now. Right? And I think I should mention that we are, you know, we got a book coming out. Shout out to Keebalon.
Keebalon, legend.
Yeah, you getting some pages out of this book. You're getting a page out my round book. You feel me? But it's imperative that we share this leading into the 9/11 anniversary. You know what I'm saying? It's imperative that we share this. So the Ida and the Pingala are what? They are the cosmic energy, right? Or the serpent coil. The serpents, the coil coincidingly up the spine, right? Till they get to the Ajna, or what's called the third or the first eye, where they illuminate the crown, which you consider to be a halo or Christ consciousness or enlightenment.
Right.
You feel me? This is the Kundalini rising process, right?
Yes.
This is the sign of the medical industry when they show the caduceus with the two snakes with the wings. It's also the staff of Mercury, right? Mercury, hence Hermes, hence Jehudi, hence the Gemini, hence the twins. Hence Kanye, like I said, being in play of this narrative at this particular point in time, you know what I'm saying? Releasing his jump off on the 29th, right? Again, mirroring or mimicking the energy of 2005 when Katrina happened And he was one of the main voices to come and emerge out of that conversation by calling George Bush exactly what he is. And you niggas forgot somehow.
Right.
Right? You forgot somehow. So let's go to that slide. You got the slide that shows what was going on in 2005.
I surely
in comparison
do.
that was going on in 2021.
I surely do.
Yeah, let's show them that real quick.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Give me 1 minute. I didn't say this in the beginning of the show, and I want to put this on a record. Love and light to anybody that was affected by that storm that took place, the Hurricane Ida. Love and light to the fam out there. You know. Hold on a minute. Can you see it?
You gotta make it bigger.
Yeah.
All right. So August 29th, 2005, hurricane hits Louisiana. August 29th, 2021, hurricane hits Louisiana. August 29th, 2005, Kanye drops his new album. August 29th, 2021, Kanye drops his new album. Right? White Sox in the first place. White Sox is still in the first place. Afghanistan is in the news. Shit, Afghanistan is in the news. You feel me? So,
yes, sir.
We are looking at a time loop. Right? We're looking at a 16-year time loop, a 4x4 time loop. Again, dealing with some key 44 resonators. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
leading
sir.
up to the 20th anniversary of a building that was opened on April 4th, 1973.
Oh, man.
That if you add the numbers 2 to 9, you're going to get 44. If you flip 9/11 around, 1 to 9 equals the number 45. Minus 1 is the number 44. Right? So 9/11 is one of the illest 44 resonating rituals ever.
Ever.
Okay?
Sir.
Let's go to the next slide, though. See what you got. Right? So, again, we've been speaking so long about, these solar flares are coming and it's going to knock the grid out. I've not heard conversation about the grid as much as I've heard it this year, ever. Right? Because we started the year with us seeing what a knocked out grid looks like when Texas was in darkness. Now Louisiana and Mississippi's in darkness. And again, this is the 44th anniversary of the blackout of 1977, when New York City fell into darkness, which was responsible vicariously for hip hop taking it to the next level.
The creation of,
right?
By way of looting. By way of the loop, my niggas. Okay. Gave it the bump.
Loop, nigga.
Give me the loop.
Right? Our people having the ability to gain access to resources that previously they couldn't afford.
Was
and what did they
do?
Them. They created $1 trillion industry off of the back of that. Ingenuity. Right?
That's right.
Technology. Right? Technology.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Our people having access to technology and knowing how to tweak that shit and turn it out.
They tweaked it.
Unlike anybody else can. And the same thing is happening to this day. Shout out to the family in the metaverse.
To this day.
To this day.
Right?
To this day.
So all of these articles they running telling you there's going to be $1 trillion tragedy, right? When the solar flares hit and knocks the grid out because the internet and everything is going down. That's what they're attempting to telling you. That's what they're running consecutively and continuously. Nobody was even listening last year when we was talking about the grid or the solar flares and the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't overemphasizing, and go and get you a generator. Go and get you extra ammo. Because if you're the only nigga on your block with lights, you might have to lay something daily.
You might be a Vic, right?
Yeah, to keep them off your your back paws, you might have to lace something daily. You're gonna need a
Facts.
lot of bullets, my nigga. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So they keep running this terror campaign. Terror, again, this fear campaign about you being in darkness, right? And again, our people buying into it as if we scared of the darkness. I remember the blackout of 2003. Nigga, that shit was so lit.
Liddy. I had so much fun.
This shit was so lit. You was like, please don't turn the lights on. This is
It was
next
block
level fun.
parties. Word.
Block parties and
I walked.
barbecues,
I
right?
walked from
Everybody's
this.
fakeness and facade dropped to the wayside. You actually saw people for who they were in pure darkness.
That's right.
Because the
Because the
fake shit was
sun.
not working.
Right.
The glamour
Right.
was not working. The illusion was not being cast. We are our real selves in the darkness.
That's right.
That's when a nigga heart gonna open up. When you gotta make safe passage through a neighborhood and you can't see nobody. And your face card, your energy card gotta be good.
Right. Because they could sniff you out.
Let me go to the next slide. Yeah. So, definition of Ida, right? Ida means industrious and prosperous. You feel me? Industrious and prosperous, right? So, it is devastating industry, though. An industry that's already been devastated and crippled, right? It cut off one of the main oil suppliers that America. Every time something happens, you find out that there's a new oil supplier somewhere. You're like, nigga, why they always going to looking for new oil then? Anyway, when it came through the Gulf, right? When it came through the Gulf, because if you look at it for what it is, again, it is the feminine aspect of the energy, the cosmic force energy that moves through your kundalini or your chakra systems from the coccyx, which is the boot or the root, all the way up into the crown, right? Which would be the empire or the empire state, my nigga.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Just iterate the trajectory of the storm for the fam that may not be familiar.
Yes. The storm, right? Ida.
Yes.
Came through the Gulf, right? It came through the Gulf. It came up the Delta.
Yes.
Okay? It came up the Mississippi, which is the Nile, which is the Delta, and it reversed the shit.
Say that again.
It reversed the Mississippi River to flow the opposite way. That's a prophecy somewhere.
That's a right. Dig that up. Where's Little Goddess? Please, can you dig that one up? You know what I mean? You out there killing them with the facts.
He was speaking about it in his Susquehanna breakdown, the 40th parallel. Right? There's a prophecy about the shit flowing the opposite way. So
and it did that.
Happened.
That happened.
It did that. It made
this week.
It knocked out 9/11 service.
Right. It knocked out 9/11 service.
Right. So there was no 9/11 service.
Facts.
And then it knocked out all of the electricity. It knocked the grid down. So they were in pure darkness.
Right. And keep in mind, like Blue was saying, the same thing that happened with Texas. Their electrical grid got knocked down with the winter storm and they went into darkness.
Right. With the polar vortex.
Facts.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So again, it came up the Gulf or the boot, right? And the boot is at the foot. It's the root. It's the bottom of the country.
Right.
It emerged on the left path, right? Or you could say, because depending if you're looking at it top down or if you're looking at it from the ground up, let's say it came in on the right and it veered to the left path, right? And made its way up the eastern seaboard in a day or two, right?
Yep.
Right. It made landfall and it continued on the land going all the way up to New York in a few days. And had enough power and strength by the time that it hit New York that they said that there was rainfall of biblical proportions 3 inches dropped in an hour. That's unprecedented.
Hold on. You could go to it real quick. I'm running through this like, let me. Y'all look away. Don't see this.
Right?
And they hit. Can you hear that?
No.
All right, hold on. Hold on a minute. Give me 1 second, y'all. Where's the thing? Yes.
God damn, nigga. Goddamn folders.
Hold on. I gotta find out. There's a button
Nah,
that
nigga,
allows
we
you
don't
to
need the
share
audio,
audio.
man. Give us, yeah, report. Tell us what we hearing.
Don't need nobody. All right, so this is the storm. And they're talking about the fact that it broke records from Virginia all the way up to New York. From New York to Philadelphia. Shout out to Ross Ben. Subways were flooded in New York City. Hurricanes in New England. Parts of
Tornadoes.
Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Tornadoes
all
in
indigenous
Jersey.
land. All indigenous land. All right. Kim Kardashian is saying that her furniture was spinning and her backyard was going through. Oh, that's the cat lady. Went through the back of her house. This is in New Orleans. This is in New. Right. Facts. This is Joe Biden. Said he want to thank all of the first responders. This is your man's and them. Said there's a lot of damage. Wanted to make clear to the governors. FEMA's on the ground. And all the assistance was needed. This is Louisiana and Mississippi right here. Okay. She said the East Coast is a mess. Look at the trajectory.
Look at this. They even got an L on this shit. Right? And again, symbolism.
They said they got, hold on.
Pressure.
Right. They said a half a year's time of rain dropped in a few hours.
Yes.
10 inches in New York, Bridgeport.
Right. So yeah.
That part.
So I'm saying that, yeah.
Look at your man.
Look at that. Yeah.
Right.
That was a few hours.
Facts.
Right. A few hours exposing the infrastructure of a fallen empire.
Facts. There's no better way. A decrepit
empire that has been felled by water in a few hours.
This happened a few weeks ago. This is the Empire State Building being struck by lightning. All right. I meant to show y'all that in my in the first lecture. Yeah. Shout out to the Houston family.
Pull up the you got that other footage for me, or that other article about the lightning?
Yeah. This is This is not real right here, but this is a depiction of what the island of Manhattan can ultimately look like. Keep in mind, New York City sits on a fault line. If there was ever a major earthquake, this is what will happen. This is what can potentially happen, and that whole shit is underwater. Right?
Yeah, it's a city surrounded, it's an island, it's surrounded by water.
Right.
You feel me? And again, we are invoking the fact that, again, I'm explaining that there's a twinning aspect taking place. When I look at when I look at Ida, the twin of it is Katrina. The third pillar would either be Sandy, which was 2012, or it also can be Harvey, which is 2017. You feel me?
Right.
It's the invoking of what? The pillars or the tower. Hence, the tower card is the 16th tarot. The 16th tarot, just like this 16-year separation between Katrina and Ida. Look, at the same time, the Washington Monument, which is the pillar or the tower that we can think about when we look at the tarot card, because the tarot card is being struck by lightning. We can look at the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument was struck by lightning in mid-April, and it was shut down, and it was reopened the same day that Ida hit on the 29th. Come on now.
Hold on.
Right? So I'm not into practicality, y'all. I'm not into literalism. I'm into symbolism. You feel me?
Symbol literacy.
Symbolism. I'm into the quantum ways that we can look at a situation and explain it where it makes sense to us. I'm not with nobody telling me what makes sense to me, right? You have the faculties to make observations and interpretations for yourself, right? What is the cosmos saying? What is that cosmos and what is that convo entailing? Fuck what they talking about on the news. We know that's some bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
We know that shit holds no credibility and it's some
None.
BS. They couldn't tell the truth if they wanted to.
Facts.
They're bound in falseness.
That's a fact. They reading from a script.
Reading from a script, right?
Super facts.
Look, we know what time it is. We know what we're looking at. You feel me? And I'm telling you, this is a lead up to something monumental that will be taking place come that 9/11 anniversary. Monumental. Next level shit.
Mind you. Yeah, they got to complete their ritual.
Next level. You feel
Put
me?
too much in it.
So, what also the Ida governs the subconscious realm of the body, right? So it would be the left side of the body or the left path of the body, but the right hemisphere of the brain, which deals with creativity, intuitiveness, right? It's the feminine aspect of your brain. It's not the practical. It's not the literal. It's not the conscious.
Right.
It's the subconscious.
Right.
Right? It's the subconscious. So only thing that the universe want to know, again, like I said, is niggas, what are you going to do, right, to protect these women and these babies?
What are you doing?
Right? Where does your oath and your allegiance lie? Especially to the men in this conscious community.
I just got to put it on record.
Trial.
I got to put this on record, Blue.
Yeah, put that on record.
Yeah, put that on record. But on Brothers Rich's show, and if Brother Rich is still in the building, right? On Brother Rich's show, you were the one who said, and I'm sure that there's the family was there for the Brother Rich show, and that was a historic presentation that we did. It was on a Sunday. You said that they after the babies.
Yeah, facts.
And then on Monday, that's when the Brother Polite story broke. And what is he getting what was he charged with?
Molesting the child.
Molesting the baby. Statutory rape. There's other things that popped up, but that right there is too much to ignore. But let's continue.
Yeah. So when we saw the incident, even in Haiti, because Haiti happened on 7/7, right? And the number 7/7 represents the pillars as well, right? And the pillars suggest plural. It's not pillar, it's pillars. So
Yes.
when something happened in Haiti, I'm like, okay, what is the other? How is the leg gonna fall? Because I'm like, Haiti and New Orleans are tied together. That was the same day that Juvenile backs that thing up, right?
Backs
Which
it
is a
up.
travesty on the spiritual realm, but we can see the effects that it has had in the nigger realm, right? Which are two diametrically opposed, but realities that also coincide and coexist with one another. So what happens with that? They just had a Vax concert in Atlanta with all the trap rappers, right? You got Boosie telling his people that you can't come to the Boosie shit without getting vaxxed up. You got more rappers now that are caping for the shot rather than have made themes or anthems going against it.
I ain't hear one song going against it from the trap
Yeah, to this
rapper.
day, right? So
To this
niggas
day.
went from selling
And
crack cocaine
To
and
this
bougie,
day.
right,
but
to selling the big trap, you know, the trap guards.
yeah,
They just
big
selling their
trapper,
new drug. Well, they
big
like, nah, we
farmer.
not on fentanyl today. We not on dope today. We not on crack. Yeah, we
Right.
selling that. We selling the juice.
That legal shit.
Right? We selling that juice. You need to sell it with us.
Right.
Right? We're gonna give you the same percentage break. You're gonna get a quarter percent of a penny, nigga.
Right. Right.
Right? And we're gonna spare you from this prosecution.
Facts.
You feel me? So it had its somewhat desired effect. It was a travesty. We could look at this shit like it was an earthquake. You feel me? We don't see it like that. We don't understand the magnitude of what the shit means because we're not putting this thing into perspective. So Haiti, Cuba, and New Orleans all was in conflict at the same time. All of the spiritual centers were under attack. Okay?
Right.
All of the spiritual centers were under attack. So by the time I got in the mountains of California and was getting them downloads, nigga, they like, it's a war up here. This shit is upside down. And it's going to play out on Earth the same way. This shit is chaos right now. There's no calm. There's no comfort. Right? How many ships we seen that night, baby? Like upwards to what?
I don't know, more than 15.
Yeah, like
Damn.
50.
Damn.
Right? Like
It was
50.
a car show?
It was a cosmic car show, my nigga. And there was some shit going on. They was moving a lot of shit around. Like,
It was a show out, it was formations.
It was
like,
yeah.
What's that game you kept saying? It was like Battleship.
Battleship Galactica. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the cosmos, my nigga.
It's a war going on. It's wars
It's
on
a
higher
lot going on.
principalities.
You gotta understand, yeah. You know that juice is turning people inside out against themselves. So if the biology of man is undergoing change, you know how they be like, yeah, this shit going from 3rd to 3D to 5D.
Right.
Like, all right, so what's the flip side for that on the mechanical side, right? Because y'all talking spirituality. But what's the flip side of that, right? What if they bump niggas from 3D to 1D? What does that shit look like?
The downgrade?
You feel me? Yeah, because niggas is cuckoo out here at an unprecedented amount. Like, it's you know.
Oh yeah, they cuckoo cow. They cuckoo cow in the hood.
Yeah, they was quick to run outside, but I'm like, this might not be the time. Because there's something going on outside that people can't quite put an explanation to. They don't really know what they're looking at, but shit different. Right? People talking to themselves at an all-time high. The cuckoo factor is unprecedented. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are just not quite themselves. A friend of mine called me today and shared a very tragic story. Right? She had been raising and rearing her son for upwards to 20. I think he's 20 or 21. You know what I'm saying? Been there through all of this young man's conflicts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And situations that he was barreling through. You know, got him graduated up. You feel me? I think this young man had some gender identity at some point. She was there for him with that. You know,
he was
held
fluid.
him down and all of his shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Only
Right.
for this young man to tell her the other day, yeah, you know, I'm about to go and get the second shot. Now, she had been experiencing abnormalities with her
Hold on.
her monthly, her menstrual.
Hold
She
on.
had been getting
We call it the Jabberwocky on the show, bro.
okay.
Yeah.
Did
Or
I
the
say something?
Jabbington.
I said something different.
Yeah. You said shot.
Oh,
Well, go
you
ahead.
can't even say
Cook.
it.
Yeah,
They running
Jabberwocky. We
down.
can't even say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, algae
Yeah.
is out here. You know what I'm saying? The Sentinels is
The algae
scouring.
know the
Yeah,
slang.
algae. Yeah,
Yeah.
algae know the slang.
Algae know the slang.
Well,
Right.
go ahead.
So the young man said, yo, I'm about to go and get the second Jabberwocky. She was like, wait, what?
Huh?
She said she
Wait,
blanked. She
wait,
might have
hold
put
on.
hands on the little nigga. Hold on.
Hold on.
How, Sway?
Take
You
a few
said how?
steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. How, Sway?
She said house, wait. Go ahead though.
Yeah, like little nigga, what?
You ain't got the
Said she blanked. She might have piecemealed them and all that.
Damn.
Right? Because the flip
She
side
threw a
is like,
cycle off.
yeah, right. Through the cycle, had an excruciating pain. She couldn't put one and two together. Like, where am I getting this from? Why? Like, what's going on? You feel me? Not knowing.
Yeah.
And again, the way that they'll sell it is they'll have the youngin believe, yo, I'm doing something for the safety of my family.
Right.
Right? I'm doing this to keep y'all safe.
Yeah,
Not
this for
knowing
you,
that
Ma.
you're putting everyone in your environment in detriment.
Yeah.
And you're making them unsafe because you up here shedding and you are a mini manufacturer for the Jabberwocky now.
Right.
You understand?
Like a ticking bomb.
She was like, yo, he's not even hit in his own, he's not coherent no more. Like, she'll build with him and he's just not there. The shit that he hit her back with is not even consistent with what he used to, how he used to rationalize and put things together.
He's not in his bag.
No more. Huh?
Right. He's not in his bag. He's in his
He
merch.
got a hole in his bag. He digging in his bag and this shit is missing. Ain't nothing in there.
Damn.
So she said he moved out and everything the other day.
Bang, 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 bang.
Right?
Bad.
Bang, bang.
So these things are taking place across people's families and their timelines and their realities. You know what I'm saying? They call it the two-tier society, right? The tale of two cities, the two-tier society, right? Those who got the Jabberwocky and those who don't.
Right.
And the vicious game that's being played as a result of, right?
That fact. Right.
And it's all about you, family. This is all about your perceptive faculties of being able to call bullshit when it's bullshit. Right? 2020 is about perfect vision, nigga. What are you looking at? Right? What are you looking at and what are you listening to that tells you other than what it is that you see? Now, again, I caught a semblance to what the news sound like. God damn. Nigga, I had to take a spiritual bath after I listened to 30 minutes of that shit. Nigga, they was saying the dog needed the Jabberwocky. That's how hard the campaign was going. Nah, dead ass.
No, I heard it too.
Where they can take their dog to get the Jabberwocky, son.
I heard it too.
They was on the babies' heads. The babies was going back to school. They was younger than 12. They was on 8 helmets, bro. Trumping it up. Yo, them little niggas gonna have to get it next. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
I heard him tell niggas in the hood to put out some mice traps, and if you catch a few, you know what I mean, bring them in and they'll stab them. You know,
all that.
Everybody gets it. Tom
all
and
that.
Jerry.
That's what's coming down next.
Crazy.
Huh?
They did a whole zoo. Dead ass. They did a whole zoo, fam. Jabberwocky and a whole zoo. They did a whole zoo. They Jabberwocky the whole zoo. Facts.
Serious?
Little Goddess, where you at? Get her a wrench. Wait, she's cooking. Little Goddess will pull it up. They Jabberwocky the whole zoo. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They don't
So
got no shame.
yeah, again,
Oh, uh,
what
somebody brought up the fact that the new jump off is Mu Atlantis.
move, right?
MU.
MU, Metaphysical Underground. Shout out to the Titans. Like I
Ah.
said, this is about the community, bro. They can fight it all they want, right? And I used to be telling people, like, you got to be careful of what you calling for, because that shit done showed up and you're not ready for it.
You're
You know what I'm
not
saying?
ready.
You're not ready for it. They caught you with your pants down. It's like, no, the 20th anniversary, you're supposed to bring this shit full circle. Like, this is what the community was born out of the ashes of those towers. You know what
That's a
I'm saying?
fact.
It was a
There was
small
no
band of
conscious
brothers and
community
sisters.
before, right? It was no such
And again,
thing as
yeah,
the conscious
I don't want
community
to be
before '01.
disrespectful to no Sister Burt, Big Man. There was various venues around the country where congregations were taking place. People were showing up and doing lectures. There was a
Yes.
sense of community because these people were part of their personal families. I think that, and then there was offshots. We can't be dismissive of what the nation was doing. We can't be dismissive of what Dr. Yorkin was doing in the communities, real communities that were formed around those demonstrations. So let's be clear. The
Right.
latest iteration of it, which will probably be a hip hop infusion, because we were part of that class that brought the youth in, and then later on it became the social media infusion. That was something brand new, and that started uh
Oh
07,
eight,
oh eight, but
oh eight.
specifically
Yeah.
09, right?
Right.
In Harlem. I showed you how to upload videos to YouTube. You showed Sinetta, and the rest is history. Okay? So
Okay.
that's when that all happened. But even by 09, the community that we had even came into in 01 had already went to 2 or 3 different iterations,
Dark matter think tank,
right?
metaphysical underground.
It
It
had
had it
turned
had
itself
different
over at least
names.
2 times. It had
Right. It
shut
did.
mad fleas off by that time, right?
Facts.
People had already got bodied and put in shallow graves. Some of them eventually resurrected, but nonetheless, they were still bodies in the dirt by 09.
Yes.
And
I
then here
remember.
we are today, right? Again, as much as this is about New York, as much as this is about the empire, it's also about the community. You feel me?
That's
It's
right.
also about the community. And it's a day of reckoning to say, yo, out of 2 comes 1. My nigga, out of 2 comes 1. You feel me? How are you going to activate the subconscious, the shit that I've been speaking about for 5 or 6 years? Giving warning, like, yo, you have to figure out how to bring in the feminine aspect of your consciousness to create super consciousness. You have to activate the subconsciousness, which is the feminine aspect. Now, that's not gender based. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about energy. You feel me? Talking about the energy,
Is
right?
that the island
So
of Pinga?
you got women in the community now. They're doing tarot readings. They're getting into the intuitiveness. You know what I'm saying? There's creativity, right? There's art in the community. There's music. All of those things would be considered, you know, right hemisphere, right brain. You want to bring it up? We got a right brain slide on there.
Nah. I don't believe we do.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I sent one.
I thought you didn't.
Yeah, let me just pull it up right here. Right brain.
Okay. You want to
Right,
share your
right
screen?
brain. Now I don't need to. I'm gonna read it. You feel me?
Yes.
creativity, intuition, the arts, creation, feeling, imagination, right? Free spirits, senses, poetry, yearning, sensuality, passion, imagination, vividness, all right brain activities, right? Without you niggas acting zesty. It's like,
And
you know, you can
moist.
tap into your right brain shit and still do it in a dignified, masculine way. You feel me?
Well,
More
considering that we are
creativity is needed. More
right
sensuality is needed. More passion is needed. More imagination is needed. More vividness is needed.
right.
Where's you niggas concepts at?
Yeah,
Right? Are
like
you in the metaverse creating? Are you painting out your new world? Are you visualizing it? Because if it exists up here, you can translate that shit. I think that the community is at a fucking a standstill because there was never vision incorporated.
right.
Right? Look.
And the vision that I called for years ago was for the comic book artists and the script writers and the Afrofuturists to step forward and to do, what they did with Black Panther, create something that can basically give us a vision of what the future will look like. Put us in 2030 when we won, like how Bobby told us that we won this shit. Give us a depiction of what that will look like. You know what I'm talking about? Give us some cartoons.
Right.
Give us a webisode series. Bend the truth the same way that they keep doing it. You don't have to abide by the rules when you living in an imagination. You don't have to abide by these earthly rules when you're using your quote unquote imagination. We have the ability to be whoever the hell we want to be. We sit back and we decode what Netflix and all of these other people have put out and whatnot. So what's stopping those from us? We don't even have to write the scripts. We can interpret Octavia
So,
Butler.
right. What does consciousness look like? What is consciousness? It's left brain, right? What is left brain? Logic,
Right.
realistic, linear, analytical, strategic, accurate, practical, mathematicians, always in control. So you have entire platform that's built on niggas overemphasizing that they're right,
Right. Can't be wrong.
right? And only one person can be right in that paradigm. So now it creates a situation where you're shooting down everything else and calling it pseudo, right? Because can
Right.
nothing be right but the shit that you on, right? And you're linear. You feel me?
Right.
So that's the telltale signs that, again, be careful of what you call yourself, because now you have embodied that or manifested it into a realm where you are created your own prison, right? How the fuck is the conscious community gonna get out of consciousness to get into subconsciousness in order to get into super consciousness, right? Or you run the risk that this shit has to be destroyed in order for it to be rebuilt, with subconsciousness in mind to be built in. You feel me?
Right.
Where's the fun in this shit? Where's the sensuality? Where's the passion? Where's the creativity? Where's the place where women and children feel safe and consciousness?
I've echoed those sentiments on many occasions. I said I don't feel safe with my daughter around the community like that, and I damn sure don't feel safe with my newborn and my son who's 13. I don't have to worry about it because he removed himself years ago. You know what I'm talking about? And when I was like, "What's wrong?" he would never really let me know, but he removed himself. You don't want to have nothing to do with it. So there's an energy that is there. I mean, to be honest with you, he saw a violent act in the National Black Theater, and from that point, it traumatized him. You know what I'm talking about? So he didn't want to have nothing to do with the community like that. And I just have an aversion to put innocent lives and souls and spirits in a place where I know that the hate is real. You know what I mean? And there's no penalties. There's no it's just deregulated. So anything goes. That's a problem. This was months. I've been saying this for Adin. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right brain prefers fiction, enjoys creative storytelling, right? Focus on art and creativity. And this is my thing, is like, nigga, we can tell the information in a science fictional way at this point. You feel me? Because the whole reality is running off of a movie script anyway.
Exactly.
They primed these niggas for this entire program and agenda by feeding it to them through the realm of science fiction, and now reality is upon them. Hence the fact that what? I adopted the name Blue Pill because I say you create reality in a subconscious realm. In deep sleep, in REM state, in theta is where you create your reality. It's not the other way around. This shit might bleed into your dream state, but that's not how creation takes place. You can't rewrite the rules. You create the shit in the subconscious realm, right? And it manifests itself in the physical spectrum called consciousness, of which only 5% of your reality plays out. The other 95% is subconscious. So we're missing out on 95% of accessible potentiality by playing in the rigidness, right, of just this one linear, side of our brain, purely masculine. And niggas is not even alphas over there.
Zetas.
Right? They epsilon.
They what?
Epsilon.
Yes. Or alfalfas.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
They not alphas, they alfalfas. Echelon. Not upper echelon. Right? Shout out to Dr. Wesley Muhammad.
Yeah, epsilon males. He talks about that frequently.
Epsilon males.
Yeah. Yeah, he does the knowledge to the epsilon males.
Yeah, don't be fooled, y'all. It's not alpha, it's alfalfa. You know what I'm talking about? But can it I don't want to wrap you up, but I want to get these people, I want to get them to bed soon. You know what I'm saying? So I want to run through these slides and just go through some of this. Yeah, I want to go through some of this winning Rome information and whatnot. So first of all, like I said, shout out to all of the families, condolences to everybody who lost their lives. I believe the number was up in the 20s and whatnot. Think about this, y'all. Somebody woke up, 20 some odd people woke up yesterday in New York and New Jersey, and they saw a little bit of rainfall outside of their window. Never did they think that their lives would be taken on that day, based off of the fact that New York City and the government failed them. How did they fail them? They did not give them proper warning. I received a flood warning on my phone at 6 p.m. yesterday. And it did not say to evacuate. It just said flash flood warnings and whatnot. People were trapped in their basement and died in a box. Okay. People were drowned in their own homes in New York City. Okay. This is the Empire State we're talking about. This is not some fucking third world country. This is the Empire State. This is the head of Rome. This is one of the quote unquote empires of Nova Roma. Right. So to show you that the quote unquote this shit has fallen, to show you how defunct this whole government is, they could not even protect their citizens from rainfall yesterday. And to be honest with you, Henry came. Remember, Hurricane Henry was, I think, last month. That shit came and caused flooding and things of that nature. And even with what they went through with Henry, nobody made any type of fortifications. Nobody did anything to prevent. You would think that based off of what Henry did, when they knew that the storm was coming, they would have began to evacuate people. They would have made it more. New York was running as a regular fucking city all day yesterday. There was no type of, there was nothing happening until that shit really started flooding and whatnot. So you see here that Manhattan plans to build a massive $1 billion wall in a park to guard against the next inevitable superstorm. I'm here to let you know that's a crock of shit. It's not going to stop anything. Okay. It's not going to stop anything. Biden today, Biden, your man's in them, used the tragedy that took place in New York City, the flooding, to push his infrastructure bill, $1.2 trillion. What's in the infrastructure bill? All right. The infrastructure bill is $500 billion to new federal investments in the infrastructure of America. Keep in mind, they have to catch up to China. Keep in mind, they have to fortify their major metropolis cities in order to be smart cities. How the fuck are you going to have a smart city when the shit will be underwater based off of the fact that a storm will come through? This wasn't even a hurricane. This was a tropical storm that breezed through New York and New Jersey. Okay, so they want to rebuild the bridges, they want to rebuild they want to rehabilitate and I'm like, fuck out of here. What were you doing with all of that tax money for all of these decades? You know what I'm talking about? We're not buying the crock of shit that y'all selling us. You know what I'm talking about? It's construction. I've been seeing construction workers active for like 10 years now everywhere. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't repair anything from that point? Y'all niggas are always on a highway tearing something up. You're always in the streets doing something. But as you could tell, this America was built on top of indigenous land. America was built on top of indigenous villages. When you see the sinkholes and whatnot, look under them shits. You know what I'm talking about? Those are, the sinkholes. When I looked into a sinkhole today, they had a sinkhole in New Jersey that fell and whatnot. But as I'm looking in a sinkhole, I could see that it's basically mad dirt that was put on top of something, and then they paved a fucking highway on top of that. You know what I mean? So it is of no coincidence that the places where this storm hit and fuck shit up are all indigenous lands, going all the way up to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and New England, where they had when they had King Philip's War and whatnot, going all the way back in Mississippi and the motherfucking boot. Okay, so is this the ancestors calling out? Because I'm Mr. Look for me in the whirlwind. You know what I'm talking about? I'm on my Garvey shit. When I see these storms coming through, I don't look for HARP. I don't give them the credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here giving nobody no credit for what I see Mother Nature doing. I'm giving it up to Mama. You dig what I'm saying? Let me blow myself up. I'm giving that shit up to Mama. And especially when I see it going along the motherfucking trails where our ancestors are crying out. Shout out to Razbin, the series that he was doing on his channel. He put me on to the importance of the I can't even pronounce that shit. It's in Pennsylvania. The Chicago, what? You know what I'm talking about?
River.
Susquehanna River.
44 miles, yeah.
Yeah, that part. You know what I'm talking about? And that's where it was ravaging. That's where it touched down and whatnot. So Rome is crumbling, right?
And again, look, the Susquehanna. What did I say? The third pillar is called the Shoshana.
Shoshana, right?
It kind of sounds the same. I'll take that.
What's the name of shorty that was eating box? Suki? No.
Sukihana, right?
The shit hit the Sukihana River.
Hold on. Yeah, it all ties in.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Sukihana,
yeah, sloppy toppy. Anyway, so I came up with the conversation. I'm putting this out there. I need some digital warriors because I don't be having all of the time. I'm a heavy researcher and I'm a farger. So I need somebody that's out there that could chop up some of the older videos. So when I get in my bag and whatnot, because I'm not out here tooting my own horn, but I be talking about shit and then it comes true. So I had said about a month ago that they was gonna get whole Biden the fuck up out of here because I saw the provocation that they were doing in the media where they beginning to push Harris, Kamala, and they were starting that conversation about her taking over. So I was like, oh, his time is up, right? As soon as I said that shit, Afghanistan happened and a few other things began to happen, and the lame duck president is on the cross, right? So you have Republicans from all over calling for his resignation. Mr. Turkey Neck, Gobble Neck, what's his name? Snitch McConnell. Yeah, no, not Mitch. We don't call him. Yeah, what do they call a man? Yeah. There's a name that they have. I think it was on the house husbands. There's a name that they have. Instead of calling somebody a bitch, they call another man something else. But anyway, yeah, this dude right here, he's an op. By the way, huh?
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll get back to him. He came in and he basically he's the he's in the GOP, the Republicans. He's saving this dude's neck and whatnot. He's quieting down the call for the resignation, and he's basically caping for oh, they call him Mitches, right? They call him a Mitch. Well, that shit fits him right there. Mitch O'Connell, right? So after they called for his resignation, so now you have the war is officially over. Okay, the war officially ended. They gave them niggas a deadline to get up out of there by the ending of August, or if they were there 1 hour and 1 day later, heads were gonna roll, right? But even prior to that, they already violated them. They super violated them and caught a dozen of them. They bodied a dozen of them on the way out. You
13.
know what I'm talking about? Imagine 13. Imagine you got evicted and whatnot, and your landlord was like, "Yo, my nigga, I'm giving you a month to get up out of here." And on the 20th day, the landlord came in and just started super violating and bodying shit all up in your house, and it was like, "Nigga, you better hurry up," like I said. So this picture is an iconic picture that will go down in history. That's the commander and whatnot. That's the last boots on the ground before they got ran the fuck up out of there and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And they ran out in the night. You know what I'm saying? In the dead of the night. They said America's longest war ended ignobly in the dead of the night. You know what I mean? Basically, they was tucking their tails and they ran up out of there and whatnot. So Biden, once again, you know what I mean? He's defending the departure from the forever war, right? He's trying to spin the story. He's trying to use linguistics to make you niggas see something that try to make you see something that that you didn't see. And then he's passing the blame. He's passing the buck to the Afghanistan army and other people and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, they failed you. It wasn't us. We didn't get our asses whooped and whatnot. It was the Afghan army and whatnot. So that's just going to show you that the Rome, the emperor of Rome, the quote unquote president of the United States is super duper lame duck. Okay. Super duper lame duck. He's not, he's worse than any president that I've ever seen. You know what I'm talking about? And they're all piling up on him. This is emboldening the right. This is emboldening the Confederacy. This is emboldening the insurrection. This is emboldening those who are wishing to do something. And 87 retired generals who endorsed the false conspiracy theory about the 2020 election. The same 87 retired generals who pushed the narrative about the election being stolen. The same 87 retired generals who helped to embolden, invigorate the insurrection, right? They were the ones who were pushing the whole narrative behind the scenes about them going to stop the vote and whatnot, or to stop the count henceforth. And then you have the January 6th insurrection. What did they say? Heru had 77 co-conspirators against them, correct? So 72. These 72. So these 87 retired generals, if there were to be a coup d'etat, or if there were to be something to happen militaristically in America, these retired generals would be the brain trust behind that. These retired generals would be the ones who were, putting things together. So they're calling for the resignation of the general who happens to be, melanated and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And that's that part on the militaristic side, on the fact that America's looking wild soft, wild moist, and their allies are beginning to look at America sideways. Like, do you niggas really have the power that you say that you have? Because like Blue Pill says, the dollar is attached to the military might that they have around the world. Okay, that's what it's attached to.
They said in the 20-year span, America has failed to show its economic or military prowess globally.
Right.
And that's the only thing that has kept,
people off their neck.
Back. It's like, oh, you know how to put a swift foot up the the butts of people who are underneath you, right?
Right. Small niggas, small
It's a
fry.
bully campaign.
Right.
You know
And they still whooping on you.
And they like, damn, you can't even get that off. So now we looking at you crazy.
Right.
Feel me? And their manhood is being questioned.
Countries with developed armies is like, nigga, if you even say something to me, are you serious? The little homie whipped on you niggas. Like, come on now.
So that brings into this article what you're talking about, right? China now putting the foot down about masculinity and manhood.
Right. So China,
they're left brain politics.
Right. Right. So now China is making the moves to militaristically get their youth and their younger generation prepared for the Great War. Okay. So what they're beginning to do is they're beginning to crack down on all things American. They're beginning to crack down. There's a culture war taking place. Keep in mind, in this demonocracy or in this democracy that tries to export democracy around the world and tell people what they supposed to be doing and how they supposed to be living and how they supposed to give it up. Other countries around the world is like, for what? You can't come and tell me anything about how to raise my motherfucking youth or how to raise our women and how to deal with our people if you can't even control the politics and shit that's going on in your country. You niggas are raising cowards. You're raising gender fluid fucking children and whatnot, and they stupid as hell. They can't even read like that. Fuck out of here. You niggas are not preparing your youth. You're not preparing them. You're not preparing the generations for the future. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw back. We're going to kick McDonald's out. We're going to kick Burger King out. We're going to kick Pornhub out. We're going to kick World Star out. We're going to kick all of this bullshit out of our country. We're going to build a wall and we're going to radicalize and get our people ready to whoop on you niggas because we ready to form Voltron. You got Iran, you got China, you got North Korea, you got even Turkey, you got the Afghans now, and there's other niggas lined up. So China bans their kids from playing online videos during the week. I'm ready to go to China. I'm with shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? I don't have no problem with that. Motherfuckers is online, but keep in mind, the China gamers are some of the best gamers in the world. They were taking all of the quote unquote trophies and whatnot. They're some of the top gamers and shit like that. So they're cutting into niggas gaming time, or they're cutting into the prowess that they had the same way that China was in control of the mining of the Bitcoins and other things. And then they crack down on that. They like, nah, you niggas can have that. We're going to take our people back. Okay. So they turned around today and they put a ban on effeminate men on TV. Moist niggas, you know what I'm talking about? Moist niggas that are influenced by Western culture with this gender fluidity and whatnot. They like, nah, that's not good for our image and whatnot. That's not how we finna raise our youth to be motherfucking warriors. We can't pass on our future to some niggas that don't even know that they niggas. You know what I'm talking about? So they like, nah, they banning all of that. You know what I'm talking about?
And they shut that down.
You know this, yeah, them K-pop niggas is gender fluid. You know that, right? Them K-pop niggas is gender fluid. I don't know which one is a shorty, right? So China's government banned effeminate men on TV and told broadcasters Thursdays to promote revolutionary culture, broadening a campaign to tighten control over business and society and enforce official morality, right? President Xi has called for a national rejuvenation with tighter Communist Party control of businesses, education, culture, and religion. Companies and the public are under increasing pressure to align with this vision for a more powerful China and a healthier society, right? So they're drawing back. They are getting into revolutionary mode. They're getting on their gangster shit. Why? Because they're preparing to take over this bitch, okay? So not only did they crack down on the effeminism in their society, they cracked down on showbiz for polluting society and youth. They like, nah, fuck that. Y'all are becoming too westernized. We don't need that over here, right? They cracked down on rap. They cracked down on hip hop and tattoos from television. Okay. So people look at that and they get in their feelings and they don't know what they're looking at. I see it and I'm like, yeah, they're preparing their country. They're utilizing motherfucking their They're utilizing their hard hands,
The hard
their
line,
iron
right.
fist,
Yeah.
the hardliner to create some strong men. Go
Because
ahead,
here's
bro.
the thing, 40 somewhat years ago, around 1977, again, I guess that was 44 years ago, China got on their shit, you know, where they weren't an economic superpower. They were very much still in the past. And they sent cultural ambassadors out to different countries, right, to observe how their economy was booming. So they came back and they adopted a hybrid form of capitalism into China, which is a communist regime. But they said they will take the economic policies of the U.S., but we don't want their culture. You know what I'm saying? So they had already in their policy about how they were going to hybridize themselves, you know what I'm saying, as communists slash capitalists. They had drew the line and said, by any and all and every means, we do not want the culture of capitalism to seep into
Right.
this.
They don't want the culture.
So
That's what
yeah,
democracy is.
They've allowed
Consumerism.
that, you know, hence the fact that, and people don't really realize this, I found out when Gucci did that BS with the turtlenecks,
Right.
and they was talking about boycotting. They was like, we don't care because our main customers are Asian.
They the Asian market. They was like, we don't need
it's
your
like,
dollars.
Yeah, the Asian market. It's like, y'all set trends, but y'all don't buy our products. The Asian market in particular, China has the highest emerging middle class. So they was getting to the bag.
Got the Baggington.
Right? They got the Baggington, you know, and they got numbers. So they have a swelling middle class. America has a shrinking middle class.
They're doing away with America's middle class. China's middle class is growing exponentially.
It's growing and booming. So niggas are swiping and doing whatever they do to get to the Gucci, or the Gucci, or
might I add?
It don't add
might
up.
I add, Blue? They're the booming economics is coming from the fact that they're the producers. They're not the consumers. You know what I'm talking about? They the hustler. They not the customer, niggas.
Yeah.
They're manufacturing. They're producers.
Yeah. That everybody's not that. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody.
Yeah, but they have a system.
There's vertical integration out there, though.
Where they're prosumers, right?
Right.
So they're producers and consumers.
Right.
So the people are making shit and the people are buying shit. And that's how you generate, you know what I'm saying, those funds to go around. And then they have ample, you know, access to resources. And they were literally getting on planes every weekend and going into European markets to shop directly at these boutiques. That's where that was their reliance. They was getting bread through the Asian market, not through niggas.
Right. So, look, y'all could get, you know, go ahead and throw up. Let me get the throw up emojis. You know what I'm talking about? Because y'all promote this shit. Y'all promote it. So I'm going to show you what the shit look like. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfuckers promote this shit. They act like it's all good and whatnot, and you want your children exposed to this. So I'm going to show you what it look like. This is what the world is fighting against. This is what the developing world and the other superpowers is like, fuck out of here. You nigga, are you serious? We not going for that. Once they seen this shit on BT, we not going for that. This is a super troll right here. He knows that he's getting on your nerves when he's doing what he's doing. We told you in last week's show about the troll, the treasures and the trolls, the attention economy. He is a master troll. He picked up where Tekashi left off. He's just trolling niggas with with the sexuality aspect, and they know that, you know, people out there are either they have insecurities, or he just knows the fact that if he pushes that shit in your face, in your mama's face, in your children's face, that it's going to be something that motherfuckers is going to talk about. You know what I mean? And when it comes to this economy, the attention economy, it's not about right or wrong. There's no morality in it. It's about clicks, my niggas. It's about the fact that you're searching his name and you're like, yo, who is he? And things of that nature. It's about attention and retention. Retention. How long can you look at that shit? How long can, you know, how is his name charting in Google searches and whatnot? So you have that.
Attention is what? Creating a spark. Oh, nigga.
It's creating a spark. Right?
Retention is holding a charge. How long you gonna look? How much of yourself are you willing to give to this narrative?
Right. Now he's the most streamed artist, I believe, on YouTube and whatnot. And you know, he's a record holder. So your boy Champagne Poppy, aka Drake, puts out an album cover for Certified Lover Boy, which already dropped. You know what I'm talking about? Right now. And you know, of course, the rollout. This is the album cover. So, like I said, he's a troll, right? This is what he does. This is what he does. He gets underneath your skin. So this nigga comes behind and he puts out an album cover where he's pregnant. And niggas was like, that must have happened at the BT Awards. What the fuck?
That's an album cover set.
No, this is his rollout in People's Magazine. That's why I'm like, yo, I'm not mad at China. I'm not mad at the Taliban. I'm not mad at Afghan. I'm not mad at Iran. I'm not mad at North Korea. Close your borders, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Close your borders, because this is democracy right here. This is democracy. This is Joe Biden. This is the Democrats. These are the Democrats. This is America right here. This is what they selling around the world. Okay? This is what they selling around the world. And People's Magazine is championing that. That's what people, he's not, you know, this ain't on his Instagram. This is People's Magazine getting behind him. Like I said, the people at the top of these organizations, you knew during the Pride Month when everybody went rainbow in the corporations, who's behind those corporations. And we already did the show to show you who's on top of that pyramid. It's not no niggas. It's people in Tel Aviv and other places. It has nothing to do with no melanated people. Y'all don't hold no powerful chips in that quote unquote society of Rome. That's all Rome right there. Fuck you saying? That's Rome.
To this day.
That's Rome.
To this day.
And they gave it the moniker with these alphabet letters. That's all Rome, bro. What is you talking about? And this is the new form of slavery. Okay. So they broke my dude, got him on an apology tour like the baby. You know what I mean? They broke like Nick Cannon. You feel me? They got your boy on an apology tour, right? Attacking the baby. And I put up an article where they said they wanted to meet with him. Now he met with them, right? But he talks crazy about black women in his rhymes. There's no apology tour for that. He always emphasizing that he killed somebody in Walmart. He never apologized for that. He talks crazy about all of his gang activity. He never apologized for that. All of the fuck shit that he represents and whatnot that the label pushes, they never made him apologize for that. But the minute that he made some hurtful comments and whatnot, they got this nigga on an apology tour all around America. He's not even uncanceled yet. He didn't finish his community service. So we live in a society where they set it up in the corporate agenda is you can't even question, you can't say nothing sideways about any of these protected classes and whatnot. But the people that are on the cutting blocks are teenagers, black women, the vulnerable society, our people who have been going through mad trauma, black on black violence, all kind of shit, the crack plague and shit like that. But they fund and they bankroll to the tune of trillions of dollars all of these artists to project, and all of these artists to basically dump their motherfucking toxicity on the culture nonstop. Okay, when you listen to the radio and the only 10 to 15 songs are dealing with some type of agenda and whatnot, it's a nonstop barrage. It's a nonstop assault. It's a nonstop attack to your audio visual ecosphere. Okay. So I always want to, because niggas is talking about R. Kelly and things of that nature. If you want to talk about these people and what they about, I always have to reiterate, I'm talking about at the top, once again, at the top, because they always are going to pick the lowest hanging fruit. But at the top, right? This was the king of Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein. And the other dude, Jeff Epstein, he was the king of financing for all of these other, for institutions like what was that? MIT. He was down with L Brand, Victoria's Secret, with Werner, with what's his name? I think it's Lex Werner or whatever.
Yeah, and that was Bill Gates folks.
Bill Gates folks, Bill Clinton folks. He was a big dog. These are big dogs right here. You did not hear the type of coverage that you hear on the R. Kelly trial. You know what I'm talking about? Tasha K and them wasn't doing reports on what motherfucking Harvey Weinstein. They didn't give you the rundown in the day-by-day play. The Breakfast Club wasn't reading the reports of the day-by-day play of the Weinstein trial. And this is one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. They buried that shit. Okay? They buried it. And this dude is living somewhere in Israel, you know, allegedly. Because they said he faked his death. So that right there, let me see. Oh, there you go with the Burning Man, Blue. You want to talk on that?
Just to talk about the immersion, you know, into the metaverse that's taking place right now. And again, salute to the brothers, you know what I'm saying, for being at the forefront and for giving people the template of, you know, because whoever kind of like steers your consciousness towards a particular thing, you always gonna hear that echoed in your mind. You're always gonna remember what your genesis or your origin point is. So the
Right.
fact that we have melanated people in this community at the forefront of the conversation about NFTs and the metaverse, shout out to Chicago Crypto, shout out to biggest crypto play ever, shout out to Nadi, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being that they already did that for a good amount of the community, consider yourselves, you know, amongst the special ones, because chances are, you know, your friends and your family, when they hear about the metaverse, it might be by way of mainstream media. Now they might get introduced to it directly through you know, other people that don't look like us. It's gonna put people in game about, yo, this is the wave of the future, and we're gonna get up in here and do this and do that.
Right.
So you got to figure some things out on your own, you know, about how to utilize the metaverse, and you know,
Yeah.
what aspects of DeFi are you gonna really zero in on to become a mastermind. You know, you got to figure these things out, and you got to figure them out quick,
I,
because the digital divide is coming. You know what I'm
it
saying?
is. I just want
They,
to
they
add
they had
on.
a lull in activity while they were restructuring and recorrecting themselves, and
Right.
now they coming.
Now they're
They
getting
coming.
busy. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
that downtime was the time for you to get in and make your motherfucking and plant your feet in the dirt. And shout out to all of my students who were in the building when we did the evolution will be digitized. We did about 3 of them. And you know, I know that they ran and they took that information and they made the best of it and whatnot. But before I close out this slideshow, I just want to say, when in Rome, this is Caligula right here that you're looking at. When in Rome, these are the Steens and the Bergs and whatnot, and we know where they originate from. Last on Melanin Monday show, I talked about the egregor. Well, the Nazi egregor hangs over that state where they come from. You understand? And we're gonna dig more into that in the future to show you how the Nazis transfer themselves right over there, and they never went away. And that egregor is alive and well in that land that they stole. You understand what I'm saying? And when you see these people, you're looking at the Caligulas of back in those days. When you see those people, because remember, the Roman Empire stretched to many different provinces and whatnot. It wasn't just located in Rome. They had different, you know, outlets and whatnot. And one of the outlets of Nova Roma, undeniably, is, you know what I'm talking about. The place where the Bergs and the Steens and the real estate agents come from and things of that nature. And they're over here doing what they do, trying their best to get away with the debauchery and shit like that. But we're not gonna allow that. We're gonna stay on their asses. You feel me? We're gonna expose them. Oh yeah, super pause. We're gonna expose them when they need to be exposed. And yeah, we're gonna just stay consistent. But yeah, when in Rome, okay? When in Rome, we still here with it, you know? So that part.
Yeah. So the metaverse, right? It's in a mainstream conversation at this point. You know, it's on the lips of Zuckerberg. You know, Microsoft is talking it. All the big wigs is talking it. So,
Oh, we going there.
you know, yeah. Get, you know, dust your notes off. If you sat in the front of a teacher or an instructor who's giving you directions or information about how to get in there, shout out to Brother Rich for the series that he did with Chicago Crypto. Go back
Yes,
and look at it,
indeed.
family. You know, especially
Definitely.
if you're not getting, you know, the Jabberwocky, you feel me? You're gonna have to figure some things out in this new
Right.
emerging digital realm where everything is gonna be tied into a passport. Right?
Right.
You're gonna have to know how to move funds. You're gonna have to know how to, you know, do some things. I'm not gonna use all of that language right now, but you're gonna have to become crafty. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? You're gonna have to
That's a,
become Morpheus, nigga.
that's a fact. So for the family that's out there
John
that wanted
Connor.
that part, for the family that wants to tap into the 6 hour classes that I've done, the evolution will be digitized part 1 and part 2. And I also did another demonstration. It's about 4 hours. You can hit that email and we will be able to take care of you. Okay. I had one with the brother Slice and my good brother Hafiz Crypto, 6 hours long. That one right there was the definitive 101. And we also have a 102, and we dived in, you know what I mean? So those lectures are timeless. The information is, it doesn't grow old because this information is brand new. It's within the it's within this year and whatnot. And just hit the email up, send me your you know, hit me with your email, shoot it at that email, and I'll be able to take care of anybody that wants to learn, anybody wants to edify themselves and educate themselves. We don't have to wait for nobody to teach us anything. We don't have to sit around on our hands and our knees and sit on no one's lap and have anybody prepare us for the future. You know what I'm talking about? Because the future is here, and there's brothers like Slice, there's brothers like J Crypto. You know what I'm talking about? There's people out here that are making moves and making things happen and onboarding our people into the digital space, digital real estate, digital economy. Shout out to Ben X, brother Ben X, and everybody else is doing their thing on that side. You know, so let's get it popping. Like Blue said, it's time to tap into that side of our brains where we bend the spoon. Okay, we bend the spoon. We use our imagination to get us out of this hellhole that we're in. Because to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of our people are stuck because we've been utilizing one side of our brains and being so analytical, you know, so
So
you know,
practical.
so practical. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, nigga, where's your imagination?
Like tap into that. You feel me? Like I said before, the conscious community missed their calling. Characters galore, and that's no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect. You know what I'm talking about? Characters galore. Niggas could have their own booth at Comic Con. You niggas supposed to be toys by now. And that's not disrespectful at all. I'm just saying. The people saw you like superheroes. You know? So
It's unfortunate. You know, some aspect of it is hurtful. And
nah, it ain't, because niggas, we
no,
need villains.
no,
We need
no,
villains in the comic book.
no. I'm talking about just the squandered and the wasted potential. That, like how you was talking about, you know, people seeing some things, and a lot of people, that's where their dreams was tied up in. You know what I'm saying? Their imagination was tied up in other people doing certain things to bring about the final result of what people wanted to participate in the back seat of the whip. It's like, yo, you can't drive it from the
Shotgun,
back
riding
seat of the,
shotgun.
yeah. Yeah, the
Right.
closest you need to be as passengers, you could push a nigga aside and take over the wheel. But, you know, backseat quarterbacking can't win a chip like that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
I heard you
we
saying it
we
the other day, you know, about organizations and stuff. And, you know, I have connections to organizations, and I advocate, you know, for people to get into areas and arenas of their life where they can adapt discipline. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
Like, this demonstration represents a level of discipline that I've always admired. I've, you know what I'm saying, acknowledged the effectiveness of it. You feel
I mean,
me?
the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the NOI. You know what I mean? Shout out to what I told you before. I was on the verge of throwing the bow tie on. I think it was like 2014. I needed some discipline. I was ready to square my corners, my niggas, and shave my fucking goatee.
Yeah, he was ready.
It almost happened. I was gonna be Philip X on you niggas. It almost happened. Like I snapped out of it though. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, this was before you had went to the second Million Man March?
I had just had my daughter, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I want to be a better man for her. And somebody I went to see brother Carlos out of Baltimore. I went to see him in Harlem, right? And that shit kind of touched Carlos Muhammad, and it kind of touched me. You feel me? And then I went outside, I had the bean pie. I think I was sold. I was like, yo, I was ready to go get fitted for the suit. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
I was ready to get fitted for the suit. I would have came on 2/5 stomping on niggas. Like, yo, buy paper and stop playing with us. You know what I'm saying? But
President would have pinged you out like, nigga.
Shit happens. You know. As we move forward collectively, you know what I mean? As a collective, we will never forget. We'll never turn our backs. We'll never abandon the collective. You know, we've been doing this thing for more than 1 decade, and we've turned on the lights to many people's temples. You know, we've fulfilled our purpose as the red and the blue to wake people up out of this matrix and bring you into Zion. Now, the fact that you niggas wanted to eat steak with Th3rd, that's something that you might have to reckon with. We're not responsible for the fact that you was fucking with Th3rd. You know what I'm talking about? That was the decision that you made.
Steak over steel grain oats.
Right. You want a steak over the steel grain oats. You didn't want to.
I was telling you how we was making CMOS cereal. Niggas was like, nah.
You wanted to dress like Billy Porter instead of wearing the burlap, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? We told you it'd be greater later. We told you it'd be greater later. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, you wanted fishnets over motherfucking corduroys. We told you, hold on. But we here now. We're here now. And your intellectual property, the fact that you've been students and you've been learning, whatever you have in between your two ears is priceless. Turn those pieces of coal into diamonds. Never abandon the fucking hours, the multiple hours that you put in. Just don't try to live vicariously through these comic book characters. Be your own comic book character. Tap into the super Hey-Ru or the super fucking villain. You might be Hey-Ru or Set. I can't call it. You might be Tahuti. You might be a moon.
Yeah,
I mean,
I lived long enough
characters.
to see an individual or individuals in the community go in between both of those characters.
That's right.
Because there is a Hey-Ru Set figure.
There is a Hey-Ru Set standing right in the middle of it all.
Yeah, I seen the niggas go back and forth. Like, okay.
There's people standing in the middle pillar. Okay. Be understand. Left hand, right hand. This nigga's right in the middle. But you have to be you know that's not for rookies and whatnot. You got to be a master to stand in the middle. You feel me? But work on your craft. Everybody has a skill. Everybody has a talent. Like Blue mentioned earlier, passion. We are now been ushered into the passion economy. I uploaded a video on this channel. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, share. I upload a video on this channel so y'all could get the uploads. Y'all get the notifications. Hit that bell, my niggas. And I uploaded a video from December when we were in Puerto Rico. We had a holistic retreat for entrepreneurs. And I was like, it's the right time to put this up. And in that video, I was speaking about the passion economy and how we are now currently find ourselves in a passion economy. So for those of you that are out there and you want to tap into your passions and whatnot, and you want to tap into your skill sets, and you want to develop that, and you want to make that a living and whatnot, and you want to be able to be a digital nomad to whereas you don't have to work for nobody, you could actually be off the grid and make a living, or you could create NFTs, or you could get into your artwork, or you could get into your story writing, whatever it may be. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Push the motherfucking Envelope. Don't let none of these niggas distract you. This is all a movie. You know what I'm talking about? Eat your popcorn, enjoy what you seeing, and keep it schmoving.
Yeah, but
So,
you know,
yeah, we
past
ain't
my
gonna.
bedtime.
It's
Yeah,
past mine's too. I got a flight in the morning. Yeah, it's been fun. I'll see the family once again. Like I said, we will be pulling up. Well, you coming to Houston, Blue? No?
not quite sure.
Yeah. I'll be out there in Monday. I'll be out there for the family on Monday for Labor Day. You know what I mean? Wisdom Bella's birthday is on the 4th. So we're gonna do it up real big and whatnot. We're gonna party hardy. And you know, it is what it is. We'll be in the building on Labor Day, September the 6th, and we'll be streaming online. You don't gotta pull up to Houston to be there. You could be in the metaverse or you could be on Zoom. It doesn't matter. Link is in the bio. All right, go and get your tickets. You know what I mean? Like, we here, we doing the work, we are presenting solutions. You could always say, them niggas ain't give me nothing that I can utilize, because you wasn't there, my friend. You didn't pull up when it mattered and whatnot. So when we do something, you know, come through. We're not gonna waste your time, because time is everything. So on that note, hit the Cash App. You know what I mean? I got me and Blue's Cash App. Hit the Cash App, hit the like button, and you know, hit the subscribe button. And yeah, love and light to the family. And y'all be dangerous. Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay safe out there and protect what is most valuable. That is your mind and that is your heart. Protect it with your life.
Protect your peace.
Yeah, protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
You know what I'm talking about?
Working
Mental
that heart
health
chakra.
is real. You lose your mind, you could lose it all. I'd rather die from a bullet than a nasty right?
Use your mind as a rat.
You lose your mind in this shit. It's like you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. Protect your mind, protect your mental state. Like Blue was saying, shit crazy outside. If you don't even got to be around a lot of people, you should focus on, you know, falling back a little bit.
Yeah,
This ain't
like,
the time to be running around outside
enjoy
and
your
everybody
tempo,
fakes.
my nigga. Become one with your space. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That person in your life that you got to look in their face.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not the
The
time
loved
to
ones.
be in 1,000 people's face outside. Like, that ain't the time that we in.
That's
you
not the
gotta
time we in.
whatever's passing through this shit, you gotta let pass through it. You know, natural immunity versus herd immunity. You gotta let the virus pass through these niggas.
Yeah, this too
Get
shall
them niggas
pass.
their space. Yeah.
Yeah, this too shall pass. So give these people their space. You know what I mean? Everybody is, you know, everybody's responsible for the shit that came out of their mouths, the things that they did and when nobody was looking. Everybody's responsible for that. You don't have nothing to do with that. Worry about yourself right now. And your loved ones, the little ones are gonna need our comfort, especially when school is starting and we don't know what the fuck is around the corner.
All right.
Yeah, leave with some music and whatnot. Kind of worked up.
You kind of got the same colors I got on. That shit is different.
Yeah. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. A lot more
spicier, but yeah.
I've been here for years.
I see it.
What you doing, Virgil? A fashion show?
Nah.
Yes.
Nah. Saying her made for Hitler. See it.
Right. What you doing, Virgil? A fashion show?
Yeah. The same Hitler wear Hermes Part 9.
Yeah, Mussolini wears Moschino, nigga. What you talking about?
Yeah. I'm slowly getting ready to go to fuck to sleep, so I'm taking this shit off. That's why.
All right, well, turn your camera off, my G. Turn your camera off. Suki, niggas don't want to see a sex tape. Nah, I'm out though, man. We're gonna end this on Cold World. All right. Off of the Red Summer album. All right. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. See you on Melanin Mondays. Love and light to the family. Peace.
Halfway. Take a few steps back. You ain't got the answers, man.
red pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the law. Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you were strange to the gods. Tremble and claim you were fraud. How could you claim that you God? Glad that my mental was trained, like mental's in pain, the mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental, train a lentil. When it rains, it pours and it rains torrential. Back at the ranch like Kanye, just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Harvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends, like on the weave of Fleas and Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research, they just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag that you saw up in Fendi. New Yorker was trendy when Dr. York, he was the voice of New York like Wendy. They birth to the Mark and Mendy's. They on the wrong side of history. They on the wrong side of Sicily. Helios, enemies, to the pit, Hennessy, to be spit, energy. In his tense, if it were a person, it would be Mike Pence. Niggas still see through like light tints. The light bent on a 90-degree angle. 93 hours, a 90-degree angel. The strangle and run the world like Charlie the Wrangle. Like woman and child, a mystical angel. You're strangled by Mr. Bojangles. I learned in Miami, some people you enter your life to feed on your light, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others will meet in your life like Jesus the Christ. He is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to see you alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like Mike. See the mic, seize your life, leave your life, squeeze the pipes, drip out them sucks like freeze the ice. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. On our way up like thermometer. Off of the planet Andromeda. Heat a wash, listen to Pizza Taj. Chances are, you never dance with the stars. Had all the chances to spar and sands of ball. My father had 20 new mansions on Mars. I sailed out in chrome spaceships. Bitch, I bailed out with gold bracelets. Yeah, I brailled out my own matrix. They say that it's ego, but it's a strong intention. They play with the people, take credit for wrong inventions, long extensions, Empire State buildings, end of time scenarios, King Kong, Dungeon Dragons, in the rhyme scenarios, the songs that mention songs, that all my henchmen on. Niggas in trenches and benches with wrenches and bombs. Listen to songs, getting they flags and their bitches is on. Master self, catch yourself before you catch yourself. Make sure that you cash your wealth. Ask yourself when you detach your belt. If the vibe is off, it's because strides is lost. Cold world, survive the frost. Red summer, it's because strides is lost. Cold world, survive the frost. Survive the frost. Survive the frost. Survive the frost. Shout out to the floss.